Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to start a series, and in this series, we're going to use the mode which is called kicking out the use of breakages. So we want you viewers, our viewers, more especially grade 9s, to join us or to visit our YouTube channel whenever they are revising, instead of you searching for a leakage. We want you to come to our channel and watch our video. So we're going to post series of videos that is in science. Want to see how science is going to how students are going to perform in science if we use this campaign. So please, as you watch this video, please remember to comment your name, and we would love to get in touch with you so that we can talk and we see how you are going to fare as you write your exams. So we're going to look at series of science past papers. So we urge you viewers to to watch our videos instead of you making contacts with people who can give you leakages. So as we solve this paper, we're going to be sharing the reasons why you shouldn't rely on leakages and why leakages are bad. Okay, so in this video, we're going to start our series with this paper which came in 2021, and that is external paper. So we're going to solve the entire paper, so you can watch this video up to the end. We're going to try to rush a bit so that we can beat time. Okay, with that being said, let's get started with our video. Remember, this series is entitled Kicking Out the Use of Breakages by Extensive Revision with Easy Learning zed-Mathematics. We are going to incorporate science now. Okay, if you have difficulties in mathematics, you can check there are plenty of videos for grade 9s that we have done already on our channel. You will see a lot of them. We have used different methods and we have taken time to explain. So if you watch our videos, I'm sure you're going to prepare yourself for the exams very well. Okay, so let's start with this paper, which is 2021. We are likely to look at 2021 internal as well as 2022 external, and we have an addition of 2019 and 2016. So if you study these 5 papers we're going to cover during this campaign of kicking out the use of breakages, then that means you're going to do well in science. Okay, so let's go into solving this paper. Okay, so as usual, this is the paper that came in 2021 external, that is August exams. So when you look at this paper, it's going to take, it was taking the students 2 hours 30 minutes to solve this paper. Okay, so this paper is a combination of section A and section B, which in the past used to come as paper 1 and paper 2. Now they are put together. Okay, so we're going just to have one paper. So let's go through the instructions. So as usual, the first instruction is pull out the answer booklet from the question paper. So that means this paper is going to come with the booklet. Now I do not have the booklet, so that means I'm going to use my beautiful print papers you can see down here to solve this this paper. Okay, so I'm going to write my answers on those print papers. Okay, so once I've done that, the next instruction is write your examination number, school center name, and the code on the answer sheet. So those are the things you need to write. Please be careful not to write your name. There is no provision for your name there. Okay, ensure that you write your examination number on every page of the paper. So the booklet is going to come with a provision where you can write your exam number every time. So why are you going to be doing this? In case the paper maybe get off from the staples they are going to use, or the paper is found loose alone, then they can be able to identify whose paper is that. Okay. Instruction 4 is this paper consists of 2 section A and B. Answer all the questions in both section of this paper. So in this paper, there is no question that you're going to select to leave out. All the questions should be answered. So by the time the 2 hours 30 minutes get finished, you have to be done with all the questions. Okay, section A. So instruction 5 is saying section A, for each question 4 suggested answers, and A, B, C, D, and D are given. Choose the best one and mark it on the answer grid provided in the answer booklet. So This is what you also do during mathematics. Okay, you write your answers. You write your answers in the booklet in section A. You mark them by a cross, something like that. Okay, section B. Write all the answers in the space provided for section B in the answer booklet. So here in section B, you have to write. If you don't remember anything, there is no way you're going to guess. You just have to write something. Okay, so here on section B, I want to tell you viewers, grade 9s, you write something, whatever you remember. Whatever you remember, you write it. Whatever you remember, you write it. And you don't know which one is going to be a correct answer for you. Okay, 7, and in the answer booklet and the rest of the question paper separately. So please do not mix the answer sheet or the answer booklet. In other words, I can tell you that as a student, focus on the answer booklet. Never focus on the question paper. Once you have done writing, focus on your answer booklet and make sure it has gone to the correct personnel. If the invigilator that is correcting answer booklet, make sure it goes to that person. Be mindful of that. After you have taken care of the answer booklet, then you can now take care of the question paper. Okay, once you've done that, then the exam is going to be fine. Your results won't be affected. Then the next point is information for the card lanes. Cell phones are not allowed in the examination room. Calculators are not allowed in the examination room. I know someone is saying, as if it's mathematics. Yes, calculators are not allowed. There are some calculations that you need to do in this paper, so you will not be allowed to use a calculator. Okay, so those are the things you as a student, before you write an exam, that's what you're supposed to take note of. Okay, after that, you are safe and right to write the exams after you've read the instructions. So let's start answering the questions. So please, if you have got questions, you can ask in the comment section. Please remember, we are learning campaign which is called Kicking Out the Use of Leakages or Malpractice during this grade 9 exam, and we are doing this by extensive revision. So please devise with us and you are going to be safe without a leakage. Okay, so I'm going to start with question 1. Okay, so this is question 1. Okay, question 1, I will just be crossing the correct answers, or I'll be marking against the letters. Question 1, the question is, which of the following changes associated with puberty only in boys? Okay, only in boys. Which one is associated with the puberty? Occurs only in boys. So experiencing menstruation for the first time, boys, they do not menstruate, so they don't go for a period. The growth of pubic hair around genital parts and armpits. This is not only for boys, even girls, they develop hair in pubic area and the armpits. Hip broadens. Nope, this one is for girls. Boys don't broaden their hips when they have reached puberty. I'm sure they have hips, but they don't take protein. Okay, D, muscles become strong and chest enlarges. That is for boys. So the correct answer here was D. Okay, D was the correct answer. Okay, let's go to question 2. Question 2 is, start the following diagram on the female productive system. Okay, that's a female productive system, and we can see letter E there. Okay, and then the question, and you can see the entire diagram. Then the question is, what is the function of the organ labeled E? The organ labeled E, what does that do? First of all, what is it? Okay, the organ E is the ovary. So what is the function of the ovary? The ovary accepts the penis during copulation. Nope. B has muscles that pushes the fetus down during birth. Nope. No. C is the one that produces ova. Yes. D is where the fertilization takes place. Nope. So the correct answer is C. Okay, C is the correct answer. It's the one that produces ova. Okay, the term that refers to the period from fertilization to birth is called copulation. Nope. Gestation. Yes. The correct answer is gestation, which is B. Okay, let's go to question 4. Okay, question 4. Question 4. Which of the following diseases is not a result of malnutrition deficiency? Which of the diseases comes not by feeding badly? So we can say it's malaria, kwashiorkor, anemia. Anemia is lack of iron. Kwashiorkor is lack of. So the only answer is in C, which is malaria. Malaria is caused by a female mosquito, which is called okay, is caused by Anopheles. Anopheles mosquito brings the bacteria called Plasmodium, which causes malaria. So the correct answer is malaria, which is caused by a bacteria and not a lack of a certain nutrient in the body. Below is the diagram of a plant. Okay, we can see that. We can see 1 is cell wall, 2 is chloroplast, and 3 is cytoplasm, and 4 is nucleus. So they're asking us which one shows the correct labels for a plant. So we said 1 is cell wall. Okay, so 1 is cell wall. So that means we can say between B and C there is one correct answer. Then we can say what is 2? 2 is chloroplast. Okay, 2 is chloroplast. So which means C is the correct one. As you can see, this is chloroplast 2, and when you look at this one, 3 is cytoplasm, which is not correct. So the correct answer is 2, which is chloroplast. 3 is cytoplasm, and this is cell, and 4 is nucleus. So this is the correct answer. So the correct answer is B. Okay, B is the correct answer. Okay, remember we are learning a campaign that is called writing an exam that is malpractice free. One thing you should understand, malpractice will just make you lose confidence in yourself. So you need to rely on people for you to do certain things. So using leakages when going for exams will not make you be confident. Remember, students, failing is not a problem, but staying in failure is what is a problem. We all fail at times, and failing helps us to identify where our weaknesses are. So please do not rely on leakages. You end up losing confidence. So please, let's avoid use of leakages by studying extensively. So join us to revise extensively so that you can be confident about the subject that you have been not confident about. So let's go to question number 6. Start the following diagram below, or diagram showing the structure of an atom. So that is an atom. Okay, so the question is down here, which is the question, which is let me see the question. The question is which structure or structures are found in the part marked H. Okay, that is protons and neutrons. So what is found in here is protons and neutrons. Okay, question 7 is which process can be used to separate a mixture of copper 2 sulfate and water where both the solvent and solute are corrected? Okay, where both the solvent and the solute are corrected. Okay, so here you want, after you separate these things, you want to correct both. Okay, so the method that we can use here is A, which is distillation. Okay, because both are collected, you want to correct everything. Okay, so if we use evaporation, that means the water will go into the atmosphere. Okay, so if we use filtration, now copper 2 sulfate is going to dissolve in water. Okay, it's going to dissolve in water. So that means filtration cannot work because they're all going to pass through the water, the filter paper. Magnetization, there is nothing that has properties of magnet. There it's a solution. So the appropriate answer will be distillation. Okay. However, we can use evaporation. That means we are going to lose water. But if we want to correct the solvent and the solute, that means we're going to use distillation. Distillation, if we use simple distillation, that means the water will evaporate and condense again in the Liebig condenser, and then the copper 2 sulfate will remain in the bottom round flask. Okay, we can go now to question number 8. In an experiment for metals, K, L, M, N were placed in either boiling water or melting ice for some time. The following table shows the changes in length of the metals. So now we can see that these are the metals, initial length of the metals. As you can see, all of them were 4 centimeters. As you can see, it's centimeters, so they were 4 centimeters. And the length after experiment were 4.1, 4.3, 3.9, and 4.9. Okay, so they're asking us which metal was not placed in boiling water. Okay, now when you put a metal or when you put a substance in hot conditions like hot water, that means that element or that substance is going to change in length, and the change is positive. It's going to get bigger. Okay, we know that when you heat react on a substance, it will expand. That means the length will be longer. So in this case, the metal that wasn't exposed to boiling water is M. Okay, M. As you can see, the initial length was for M was 4 centimeter. Then later on it came to 3.9. That means this metal contracted. That means it wasn't put in hot water. Maybe it was put in cold water, or the condition just changed. It's not mentioned whether it was put in cold water, but as they have explained in the experiment to say some melting boiling water or melting ice. So some were put in cold water. So this metal could have been put in cold water, the one which has 3.9. So when something contracts, it shrinks. So the correct answer here is C. Okay, C was the correct answer. Okay, let's go to the next question, which is question 9. So question 9 is study the following diagrams showing an experiment on the composition of air. Okay, so we have got burning candle there. Okay, we have got burning candle there, and we have got, as you can see, we can see the readings here. It's 20, and there it's 100, and the gas jars. So here, what is contained in this space is gas. Okay, so there is air there. Okay, so as you can see, the water levels, when you look at this, the water levels are the same here, but when you look at this side, you'll see that here the water has raised and this it has shrunk. Okay, so you can observe all that, and then let's go to the question. The question is, okay, excuse me, the question is, okay, the question is, the candle stopped burning after a short while, and the water level rises to occupy the space left by part of the air used up in burning. What is the volume of the air that was used up in the burning? Okay, what was the level, or what was the volume of air? So as you can see, it was the reading of the water was 20, and now it has gone to, is that 30? We say 40, 60, 80, that is 40. So it has gone to 40. The lie is here. From here up to here, it has gone to 40. When the water was at 20, now it has gone to 40 in this cylinder. Never mind about this outside of the cylinder. Okay, so what is the volume? So 20 to 40, that is 20. So the volume of air used up is 20. 20 centimeter cubic. Okay, 20 centimeter cubic, that is the amount of air that has been used. Okay, now let's go to the next question, which is question number 10. Start the following results of blood pressure and the pulse rate of a person recorded at least using a digital blood pressure monitor. Okay, so blood pressure there has 160 per 80 and 60 there. Which of the following result is the correct pulse rate of the same person when the test is done again after an exercise? Okay, after an exercise. So the correct answer here is C. The correct answer here is C. C is the correct answer. Okay, we go to question 11. Question 11 is the common transmitted infections, STI, caused by a virus mainly affecting young ones are, okay, genital warts and HIV/AIDS, gonorrhea and HIV/AIDS, syphilis and genital warts, syphilis and gonorrhea. Okay, so here the correct answer is A. Correct answer is A, which is genital warts and HIV or AIDS. Gonorrhea is caused by a bacteria. Syphilis is caused by a bacteria. Syphilis is also caused by a bacteria. So genital warts and HIV are the two STIs that are caused by a virus. Okay, we come to question number 12. Question number 12 is which of the following is not a way of preventing transmission of sexually transmitted infections? Okay, so sexually transmitted infection cannot be prevented by having multiple sex partners. Correct. You cannot prevent STIs by having a lot of partners. That way it's going just to increase the number of sexual partners. Or if you have got a lot of sexual partners, it's going just to increase the chances of you having STIs. One faithful sexual partner is a good one. Protected sex is a good way of preventing STIs. Screened blood transfusion, again, that one is also a good act of preventing STIs. So the correct answer is A. You cannot prevent STIs by having multiple partners. Okay, multiple partners. Okay, if you have multiple partners, the chances of you having or contracting an STI is high. Which one is not an industrial importance of effective water management to provide a sustainable source of clean drinking water? Which one is not an industrial importance of effective water management to provide? So enough water for agriculture, that is an importance for industrial. Adequate water in textile, as you can see, that is industrial. Adequate water for electricity generation, that is also industrial. So correct answer is A. A is the correct answer, which is sustainable source of drinking water, that is not for industrial. Okay, so the correct answer for 13 was A. Okay, so question 14 was as follows. The diagram shows an experiment set up to investigate a condition necessary for photosynthesis. So now we need to look at this first diagram given. We have got sunlight, that is, and we have got 4 here, and we have got the leaf here, and the part of the plant this side. Okay, so that means the leaf is not plucked out. It's not plucked out from the tree. It's attached to the tree. Then let's go ahead, and then we are told to say after 48 hours the leaf was plucked and tested for starch using iodine solution, and the results obtained are shown below. Okay, so you can see here there's blue black, and here we have got brown, and then we have got blue black this other side. Only here it's brown, and this is the part which was covered by a fall. So the question is, what condition was being investigated in this experiment? The presence of water? Nope. The presence of light? Nope. let's see. Presence of chlorophyll, absence of carbon dioxide. The correct answer is B, presence of light. So we are checking if light is important for photosynthesis to take place. So the correct answer is B. Okay, so the correct answer is B. The presence of light, the importance of light in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, let's go to question number 15. What type of chemical reaction is the hydrolysis of acidified water? Okay, acidified water. What is the chemical reaction? What type of chemical reaction is the electrolysis of acidified water? Okay, so the correct answer here is double displacement. Double displacement is the correct answer, which is B. Okay, we go to question number 16. Okay, question 16 is, the following diagram shows a laid diagram with an object placed beyond, okay, beyond 2F. Okay, beyond 2F. That you can look at the diagram the way it is, just as you can see it's there. Okay, so the question is, calculate the magnification of the lens used in the above diagram. The magnification is A, which is 0.5. When you look at that, you see that that's the correct answer. You can see, you can look at the distance here and here where it has been, so that means it has even come closer, half of it closer to this. This is 2.5 and the original one is 5 centimeter. So that the magnification is 0.5. 0.5. Okay, all right, now we can go to question number 17. Okay, question number 17 is as follows. The following diagram shows an electric circuit. Okay, we can see that. And at which labeled part 1, 2, 3, 4 should a voltmeter be placed? Voltmeter. So the correct answer, where should the voltmeter be placed? Where should the voltmeter be placed on this diagram? Okay. Okay. The voltmeter should be put at point 2 here, which is B. B is the correct answer. Okay, we go to the next question, which is question number 18. Okay, 18. The following diagram shows a box exerting a force of 20 Newton on the surface. Okay. What pressure does the box exert on the surface? Okay, so we know that pressure is equal to area times it's equal to force divided by area. So I told the force is 20 Newton, and what is the area? So we can say 2 by 2, that is 4. Okay, so we divide. Okay, I'm sure people are saying you are just talking and we don't know what you are saying. Okay, so we're saying pressure, which is P, is equal to force over area. Okay, so I told you that the area is 20 Newton, the force, sorry, is 20 Newton over what is the area. So we calculate the area of this. To calculate the area, not the volume, but the area, we're going to calculate 2. This is the cuboid, so we're going to calculate 2 by 2, which will give us 4. So we divide by 4 here, which is 4 meters squared. Okay, then we say equal to, then when we divide this, it's going to give us pressure, which is going to be 4 into 20, it's going to be 5. So the correct answer is 5, which is C. Okay, so you should always remember that the formula for pressure is force over area. Okay, once I've done that, then we can go to the next question, which is question 19. Okay, which series of energy changes below shows the situation at hydroelectricity power station? Okay, so we look at this chemical energy, kinetic, mechanical, heat energy, nope. Chemical energy, mechanical energy, chemical energy, potential, kinetic, nope. Let's see. We are saying potential energy, kinetic energy, mechanical, electrical. Correct. The correct answer is C. That is the correct series of energy changes in hydropower production. Okay, so we go to question number 20, the last question in section A, which is, which of the following is an advantage of a short message service, which is called SMS or text? Okay, messaging communication system. Okay, what is the importance of SMSs? It is good for brief communication. Okay, yes, it is. Takes time to use and requires a lot of attention. Nope. Is not suitable for emergency situation. Nope, that one is a lie. It is very, very suitable for emergency situations. Does not involve basic typing and basic typing skills and literacy. Nope. How can you write an SMS when you don't know how to read and write? That's not true. So the correct answer is A. So skill literacy is important. Okay, so those are the correct answers. If you are writing this paper, you are supposed to mark. So these are the correct answers. Remember, we are doing a campaign that is writing a malpractice free examinations for grade 9, and we're doing this by extensive revision, so you can revise with us. Easy learning zed-Mathematics, the future is bright. That is definitely true. So one of the disadvantages of using malpractices is what I've noted in most instances. I've seen teachers who have become teachers, but they are not interested in teaching. Okay, and they passed the exam, they went to a college of teaching and they did very well, but they are not interested. How come? I've seen nurses who are not doing the right thing. Okay, we have seen different offices, for sure. We have seen different civil servants, not even civil servants, people in private sectors who are not doing the right thing. The reason is they are in wrong professions. So one of the things linkages will bring in is to place you in a wrong profession. For instance, you are an artistic person, you love singing, dancing, but because of leakage, you find yourself with biology leakage. And you do well in biology and chemistry and physics. Later on, your certificate, your grade 12 certificate, is showing you that you are good in physics you're just good in sciences, even in mathematics. Then yet you are not good, you are good at art. Now, because you didn't have leakage for art, then you did fairly good, but these other subjects where you had leakages, you did very well. So it will end up placing you into a long career into a long career. And then what happens? That is imprisoning yourself for the entire life. You're doing things that you don't enjoy. So please, malpractice is very bad. It does more harm than good. So it's better you fail and be in a correct career you want. If you're a dancer, you're a singer, you should do that. There are some people who are doing just music and they are living a good life. There are a lot of musicians I've seen, I've interacted with some. I can talk of Slap D, Peterson. We have seen these guys doing very fine. Just music. I'm not saying they were down at school, no, but they just followed their passion. So use of leakage will help you to land into a wrong profession. So please stop using leakages. Exams is one way we can identify your potential. So don't use leakages. As we go to section B, revising, please work extra hard. It doesn't mean that when you don't use leakage, or when you know that I'm good at art, then you just concentrate on arts. No, you can do this because there are requirements for you to go further in your studies. Even if you study art, they will need also to see you be fluent in English. They also want to see you do calculations. So just work extra hard. It's going to help you to identify your potential. Don't use leakage. It will destroy your life. Let's go to section B and answer all the questions. Remember, Easy Learning Z is running a campaign of malpractice free, so we will be posting videos in science. We'll start with science every day so that you revise with us extensively. Okay, let's go to section B of this paper. Okay, so section B consists of 60 marks. So we're working for 40 marks in section A. Now we're going to work for 60 marks, and we are supposed to answer all the questions in this section. So there are 10 questions. As you can see, we've started from 1. So section B runs from question 1 to question 10. Okay, so each question carries 6 marks. So 10 questions, they're going to give you 60 marks. Okay, so let's start with question number 1. And the question number 1 in 2021 external paper was coming from the human body. So the question was, the following diagram represents male reproductive system. Male reproductive system. Okay. So we can see there is bladder, there is Z, there is Y, there is X, and there is W and V. So let's go to the questions, the actual questions. So here I'm going to be using this paper to answer the questions. So you'll be using the screen, and please, you can try to pause the video, try to answer the questions first before I answer them. You pause the video, you try to answer all the questions. Once you have done that, then you can play the video and check whether your answers you correct were correct. Okay, if they are not correct, it's good that you have failed now. In an exam, you're not going to fail. Okay, so now we have studied the diagram there, and the question is name parts V and W. So what we need to do is first identify the part called V. So as you can see, this is the part V, and it's pointing at this. And what is that? Okay, so I'm going to say question 1A. So V, that is V is equal to, that is question 1, V is equal to, so what do we call that? That is the urethra. Let me check, yeah, that is urethra. Okay, that is urethra, that is the part called urethra. Okay, if that is urethra, what is part Z? So Z is there, so that is the part Z. What do we call that? That is the sperm duct. Z is equal to sperm duct. Sperm duct. Okay, all right. So the next question is question A2, which is what is the function of W? So W, now when we look at W, what is the name of W? That W, the part W is called what? That is the penis. So what is the duty of the penis? So the duty of the penis is to depose the sperms into the vagina. Okay, the urethra itself cannot be in the vagina and dispose the sperms. So what happens is the penis will erect, will become strong, hard. I know you are grade 9s, you know what I mean. And then it will be inserted in the vagina. And when the time for ejaculation comes, this will be with the help of the sperm that the urethra will be able to release the sperms into the vagina, because the penis will be in the vagina. So the duty of the penis is to depose the sperms into the vagina. So we can say, okay, number A2, so to, okay, deposit sperms into the vagina, so that the sperms can swim upwards through the cervix, and then the woman the woman can get pregnant. So it will be with the help of the penis. So that is the function of the penis. Okay, let's come to the next question, which is which letter on the diagram represents the part that produces the male sex cells? The part that is representing that produces the male sex cells, and the letter that is doing that is presenting the organ that produces the male sex cells is this part, which is here, Y. Okay, this is what produces the male sex cells, so it's Y. Okay, all right. Okay, we come to question C. describe the sexual development in boys. Okay, and 2 girls. So you're going to give 1. So here it's very important to take note of the marks given 6. So that means here we're going to give 1. So when boys and girls reaches adolescent, what happens? What development does they develop? What new things do they develop? Okay, so here I can say for girls, for boys we can say chest broadens. The chest becomes broadens, the chest becomes big, or we can also say the voice breaks or becomes deep. Breaks, it becomes deep. You find that a boy starts, the voice of the boy starts sounding as if it's a man who is in the house. Okay, we boys were aware of that. Then there's also something like pubic hair grows, so you can pick one of these. Pubic hair grows. Although this one is for both, they didn't say only for boys, they just said for boys, so even that one can be correct. The pubic hair grows can be correct. It's correct, not can be, it's correct, because they didn't say only for boys. So this happens for boys only, but this can also happen to girls. Okay, now what happens to girls? What happens to girls only is breast becomes big. Breast become big. So here, guys, na my girls, na my boys, here we end up mistreating girls. Some they even become more big. You start saying, that girl is just a prostitute. How come the breasts are so big? Hey, she has no response for that. Even if you ask her why her breasts are so big, she has no response for that. That is in her making. So there's nothing that she has done. That is just her makeup. That is genetic. You can't, even the mother cannot explain. So some the breasts will be bigger than others, some they'll be smaller. And for those who have smaller breasts, hey, it's not your decision that they became small. It's just that that's how you are made. Okay, so please don't be demoralized, girls. If your breasts are big and people are making fun of you, please don't worry. They are just ignorant. Okay, the other point is the hips broadens. Hips broadens. So here it's like even the passage for the baby to when the child is about to be born is being created so that the child can pass well. That's why even the hips broadens. So please don't misuse your body. Please, this is just science. We are not meaning go and experiment, no. Okay, so immediately you see a girl has reached puberty, that means anytime she can get pregnant. Okay, so you as a girl, you don't have to wait for your first menstruation. Or you can be free to say, I have not yet started attending, I can sleep around. What if the first menstruation meets the sperms? You get pregnant. So please take care of yourself, girls. If we educate girl child, that means we've educated the nation. So girls, you are very important. Don't just give yourself up to anyone, please. Okay, so those are the answers that examiners were expecting from you, except those advices I was giving you. But everything I've written here, those are the answers examiners were expecting from you. Okay, so you can add others. As you can see, this question just needed one from each, so you can pick any of these I've given. Okay, so we go to the question number 2 in this section. But before we do that, please, this is a campaign for malpractice free examination for grade 9. So please make sure you join us and you join this campaign. You can also share this video to your friends. We have this campaign which is called malpractice free campaign, where we are going to revise extensively, and we expect you, our followers, to revise extensively. So we are not going to use malpractice to do well in an exam, but we're going to study extensively, revise extensively for us to do well. So we're going to start with science. Okay, so as you can see, this is our first video. Expect a lot of videos during this campaign from us, so that we can revise with you extensively. Now let's go to question number 2 of section B. Okay, question 3 was as follows. Start the diagram showing types of pollution. Okay, so we can start the diagram here, and we can see, and we have water here, we have the road, and we have the factory there. Okay, so we can even see that this factory is producing smoke, and these rains react with water in atmosphere, the smoke, and then there's also acidic rain that is for. Okay, so after I've studied this, then the next thing is we're going to go to question A, which is identify 2 types of pollution in the diagram above. So now when you look at this diagram, we can see that there is smoke that's going up, and what will the smoke do to the environment? It's going to pollute the air, so it's going to cause air pollution. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to write 2 here and then write 2A. So the question for 2A is identify 2 types of pollution in the diagram above. So as I have said, the smoke that is here, will cause air pollution. So the first one is air pollution. Okay, pollution. Okay, then what will be the other pollution? Now we can see this is acidic rain. So I was saying the water here, the acidic rain, will go into this river, and this is the river where there are some fish, crocodiles, any aquatic creature might be near. So it is used to a salt that is neutral, that is neither acidic, just which is at the water level. Okay, so that means if there is acidic rain, that means the water will become acidic, which will be not be comfortable for the aquatic creatures. Okay, so that means now what we can say here now, it's also going, the acid water will go into the water, so it's going to pollute the water. So we're going to say also water pollution. Water pollution. Okay, so water pollution will be also caused by that, by the whole setup of the things that are here. There will also be water pollution. Okay, question B, which is suggest 2 effects that are likely to be caused by the acid rain. Okay, so what will be caused by acid rain? 1, it's going to cause the erosion of buildings, the walls of the building. So 2, it will cause the erosion, and brackets, eroding. Okay, erosion of building walls. Okay, building walls. Okay, so the walls of the building will be eroded because of the acid, which because of acid rains. So there will be erosion of that. That means the buildings will become weaker, and they'll end up falling. Apart from the walls being eroded, we will see that even the roofs, most of roofs nowadays are made of iron sheets, so there will be erosion of roofs. Okay, so we can also say walls and roofs. Roofs will also be eroded. Okay, so that will be, the question is asking us to state 2 effects. That will be another effect, although they are negative effects. Then we are saying suggest 2 effects that are likely to be caused by acidic rain. Then we'll also be having like aquatic creatures will die. Aquatic creatures will die. Now when I say aquatic creatures, this word aquatic creatures, I'm referring for things that lives in this river will die, because the water will be acidic, and then eventually the fish is not used to be in in acidic environment, that means the fish will die and other things that lives in that will die. Okay, there is also bridges. So like because of acidic rain, you see that this bridge will be loaded as well or damaged because of the metals will be loaded, and then at the later stage it will die. Eventually it will die. You just see the bridge falling off on its own. So those are the damages that will be caused. However, they wanted two, and those are the two we have written. It will cause the erosion or eroding of buildings, walls, as well as roofs. Then there's also aquatic creature will die, so fish in the river will also die. Okay, question number C. Describe two ways of preventing pollution of environment. Okay, so C, I'm going to write C. How can we prevent pollution? Now here they are not specific to two, that is the air and the water pollution. No, they have just asked generally how can we prevent pollution in general of the environment. So it can be water pollution, air pollution, land pollution. So one way is by using recycling. I don't know if there is recyclable. Using recyclable things that can be recycled. Okay, recycled things that we can recycle. For instance, we use the papers that can be recycled. We can use the things that when we use them, after using them, we can make them into another thing. Like we use plastics. After using plastics, we can make, maybe we bought cups of made of plastics. Once they are not in use or they are in bad shape, we can take them to a recycling industry where they can recycle them and make new things like plates, even in another cup. Okay, then how can we prevent pollution? So how do we prevent pollution? So we can use we can start finding other alternative for waste. Okay, waste management. We can practice good waste management or use other alternative waste management. We can also reduce the use of pesticides. We can say reduce the use of pesticides. Okay, and also we can also reduce the use of inorganic fertilizer. We can also reduce the use of inorganic fertilizer. That is the one that destroys the organisms that can help to decompose wastes. Okay, so basically these were the answers we are supposed to write. So from those three reasons I've given, you can pick two. Otherwise, if you have got pest beside these, there are some points you have that you can easily remember. You can write those, but even these three are acceptable and they will earn you a mark each. Okay, so these are the answers we're supposed to put for question 2 in this paper. We can go to question 3. Okay. Okay, question 3 was as follows. The following diagram shows how two seedlings responded to the effect of gravity on shoots after 48 hours. Both seedlings were covered with cardboard boxes during the experiment. Okay, so the question here is state one type of response shown by plant K. One type of, so as you can see, this is plant K, and the response that is shown there, you can see the shoot is growing upwards. So we can have I will write 3 here. and then 3a, the response that is positive phototropism. That is the response that has been positive phototropism. Okay, then we come to question number 1. This is number 1. This is number 3a1. Then we come to 3a2. State one advantage of the response stated in A above to the plant. Okay, so this, the advantage is of this response is that the plant will keep on growing. Okay, as it's going towards right, when oxygen is produced, which promotes growth in the shoot of a plant, with this response, because the plant will be listening to the right, to the source of right at the end. That means keep on growing, so it promotes. So we are saying, what is the advantage of this response? It will promote growth in plants. So number 2, we are saying it promotes growth in plants. Okay, all right. Okay, we go to question number 3b, which is explain why plant J still grew horizontally. So this is plant J here. This is the plant J, and it's growing horizontally. So you can see there is this arrow which is showing that there is this flower pot was being rotated. So it was rotating at an interval. So why it was growing horizontally? Because each part of the plant was exposed, or immediately it wanted to go up, the other side was supposed to go up, it was rotated, and that side might be facing down. That means now it will try to change the bend, the way it was bending, it will start bending upwards. So because it was being rotated, and then it wouldn't grow going upwards. Okay, so the question is, explain why plant 3 still grow like that. Is because it was being rotated. The shoot should grow towards the sun, but since it was being rotated, so it couldn't grow towards the sun on one side of that plant. So because it was being rotated regularly, remember here there is no element of sunlight in this question. When we read at this, we are told it was covered with cardboard during the experiment, so everything was in dark. So the shoot always grows going upwards, so going towards the right. So it's like every part of this plant was exposed to going upwards. So at the end of the day, it couldn't go upwards. Each part was exposed to going upwards equally. So that means it cannot go upwards on one side. Okay, so because it was being rotated regularly, so that's the reason why it didn't change. It didn't bend like in plant K. If it wasn't rotated, then the other side could have gone upwards. Okay, which plant is the control experiment here? The plant which is control experiment here is that is J. J is the control experiment, which is C. Which part is control experiment? C is J. Okay, J. All right. So the answer is there is J. Okay. Then the next question is, apart from gravity, name 2 other stimuli that plants respond to. So we have got the 2 stimuli plants respond to. Number 1 is light and water. Okay, so for light it's called phototropism, and for water it's called hydrotropism. Okay, so those are the two stimuli parenthesis point 2. We go to question number 4. I'm sure you're done with question number 3. That means 3 marks, so you get 3 marks by giving these answers, just as like we have done. So 1 1 2 1 1 again here, and here 1 and here 1. So here 1 and here 1, so they'll give you 6 marks. Okay, we go to question number 4. Okay, question number 4, we are saying it was coming from materials and energy. The following graph shows the temperature changes as ice was heated until it became steam. Okay, so we can see that this was ice, and then they started heating it until it became steam. By the time it reaches this side, that means it's a steam. Okay, it's water vapor. Okay, so this is what you need to start, then answer the question. What are the temperature represented by the letters R and S? So let's check where there is R. So R is here and S is here, so the temperature here. Let's start with the R. Okay, so question 4A, we have question 4A, we have got R here, which is equal to, and S here, which is equal to. So what is the temperature at this level here, which is S? The temperature here, as you can see, this is ice and it has started melting, so this is 0 degrees. So S is going to be 0 degrees, so S here is 0 degrees. That's where the ice melts. Ice made of water starts melting. And then what is R? R, you can see it's here, and this is evaporation. So here it's boiling point, so this is 100 degrees. So this is 100 degrees. Okay, so those are the values. So we come to question 4B, which is state the physical state of matter at L and P. At L and P, so that is B. We have got at L. So we have L here. What is it? And what is this physical state of matter at P? So let's identify where this L it's here. So what is the state of matter at L here? Here it's solid. The water is just ice. They haven't melted, so we're saying it's solid. So here water is existing as solid. It's an ice block here. Okay, then here it starts melting. Then here it becomes liquid. Then here the liquid starts evaporating and becoming gas. So at P, water is existing in 2 forms. At P, water is existing in 2 forms. 1, liquid. Then 2 what? Gas. Okay. So it's existing in 2 forms: water, liquid, and gas at P. At L, it is existing as solid. Okay. At P, it is in 2 forms: gas as well as liquid. Okay. So this is what happens here. Okay. Question C, describe what happens at point M and P. At point M and P, what happens? Okay, let's start with M. So it says C. At C, we are saying M. What is happening at M? Where is point M? It's here. So describe what happens. So what happens here is water. Water changes from solid to liquid. Water changes from solid to liquid. Okay, what happens at P? So we have P, it's here. What happens to water? Water changes from liquid to gas. So at P, water changes from liquid to gas. So that is how you need to describe what is happening at M and P. So what is happening at M is water changes from solid to liquid. Here water changes from liquid to gas. Okay, so those were the answers that you are supposed to write. So those are the answers, and examiners were expecting you to write, and those they gain you 6 marks. Some marks you earn them, some marks you are given. Some they are too easy, some they are hard. Those which are hard you earn them. Those which are simple, oh, you receive them. Okay, let's go to question number 5. Okay, so before we go to question number 5, easy learning is learning a promotion code, a campaign code, not really a promotion, a campaign code, writing a malpractice free grade 9 exam by revising extensively. So you can revise with us. Just join us on YouTube and Facebook. It's called Easy Learning zed-Mathematics. You can join our channel, and you can also join our Facebook page on Facebook. Okay, so please, using malpractice is very bad. If you are found using malpractice, if you are found using leakages, or you are practicing malpractice, if you are found in doing things that are not acceptable in an examination room during exams, you can be banned from writing exams for 2 years, depending on the kind of the crime you have committed. It's an offense that you can be sent to jail for. So you need to be, please stay away from examination malpractice. They are very bad. The maximum they'll give is 2 years. They'll suspend you from writing exams for 2 years, which is very bad. So if you're in grade 9, you come and write the next exam, which is a grade 9 exam, when your friends are in grade 12. Okay, so you'll be in grade 9 when your friends are in grade 12, which is a very bad thing. If you're a girl, you end up choosing to get married. If you are a boy, you end up resorting into using drugs. So please, I think it's better you fail than facing those charges or sentences. So please stay away from leakages and any sort of malpractice. With that being said, let's go to the next question, which is question 5. The following diagram shows 2 blocks being weighed on balances. Okay, so I've got block 1 and block 2. Okay, so we can start that. We can check on these readings. 2 blocks, they have 40 grams, and this has 40 grams. But when you look at this, is the reading here is 25. So this is 40 and this is 40. But what is the reading? The weight, you can see it's here, and here, that is 20 grams and 40 grams. Okay, so the question is, first question, which is question A, define density. So we're saying density is mass per volume. So let's start with I'm going to write 5A, then I'm going to define what is density. 5A number 1, we are saying density. Okay, density is mass per volume. You don't have to struggle. That is what is density is. Density is mass per volume, as simple as that. So I know you grade 9s, you are not so yet rich in vocabulary. That is the simplest definition you should give, and it will earn you a full mark. Okay, so the next one is state the unit. This is the second question, which is state the unit for density. So density, the unit for density is grams per centimeter cubic. Grams per centimeter cubic, that is the unit. Okay, we come to question number B. Block 1 has a volume of 4 centimeter and block 2 has the volume of 5 centimeter. Calculate the density. So let's start with C. So question B, they are saying us to calculate the density for block 1. So it's a block 1. Okay, so block 1, let's say it's here, we are saying density is equal to mass over volume. So we are told that block 1, what is the volume for block 1 is 4 centimeter cubic. So, and the mass is what? Mass we found is 20. Block 1, the mass is 20, it's here 20. So we're going to write 20, okay, 20 grams over 4 centimeter cubic. So what will be the density? So we're going to say 4 into 20 will give us 5, which will be 5 grams per centimeter cubic. That is the density. Okay, we come to block 2. Density for block 2, we are saying density is equal to mass over volume, which is equal to 25 grams over, okay, so 25, where is this 25 coming from? It's coming from here, the reading is 25 here. And then what is the volume? So we are told that the volume of block 2 has the volume of 5 centimeter cubic. So I'm going to say over 5 centimeter cubic, okay, which is equal to, then we divide this and this, it's going to give us 5. Now we use gram and centimeter as the unit, so we're going to have 5 centimeter, 5 grams per centimeter cubic, and this is the answer. Okay, so as you can see, the block 1 and block 2, they have got the same density. Okay, they have the same density. They have the same density. So the question is C, which is now let's go to question C, which is C1. From the results obtained in B above, what conclusion can you make about the 2 blocks above? So the conclusion we can make from these 2 blocks above, we can say they are made of the same. They are made of the same material. They are made of the same material. So they are made of the same. They are made of the same material. 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 Okay, so that is the correct answer. They are made of the same material. So that is one thing we can talk about. They have the same density, and that shows that they are made of the same material. Okay, now we come to explain your answer in C1 above. Okay, why are you saying so? Why are you saying that they are made of the same material? Okay, because they have the same density, that means the way particles are arranged in these materials is the same. Okay, they have the same density, that means they are made of the same material. So why are you saying that? So our answer here is because they have same density. They have the same density. They have the same density. That is the answer there, because they have the same density. Okay, so question 6 was as follows. State one way of maintaining good personal hygiene of the reproductive organs. So how can you make sure that your reproductive system is clean? Okay, so that you are safe from diseases. How can you make sure that you are safe from diseases? So the best way, let me write 6 here first. Okay, I'm going to write 6 here, then I'm going to say A. So one way is by bathing regularly. So when you bath regularly, that means when you go to bath, you are going to take time and also clean the reproductive system, those that can be cleaned. Like for the male, you clean your penis, and for the female, you also clean the vagina, because the vagina and the penis, that is the entries of the dirt into the inner reproductive system. Okay, so you bath regularly. The other one is by also wearing clean underwears. Okay, so please clean underwear. So please make sure that whatever you're wearing, a pant or a box, whatever you're wearing, is a brief. For boys, whatever you're wearing, make sure it is clean. You just don't wear anything. When you know that it's dirty, you don't have to wear that. You need to clean it, iron it, make sure it's clean, and wash it regularly. Mostly I can say every time you go to take a shower, wear a clean underwear. Okay, so basically you can pick one of the two and write it. So I would recommend preferably the first one, by bathing regularly. So you bath and you wash. Okay, the private parts. Okay, question number 2 was name 2 STIs caused by bacteria. So the STIs, there are so many STIs, but others are caused by viruses. So we ask to name 2 STI diseases or infections that are caused by bacteria. So that is B. I'm going to write B here, and then I'm going to write 1, gonorrhea. Okay, it should be double R. Then we say gonorrhea. Okay, and the other one is syphilis. Okay, so gonorrhea and syphilis, these are 2 STIs that are caused by bacteria. Okay, we go to question number 6C, which is describe 2 reasons for avoiding getting infected with an STIs. 2 reasons why you avoid getting infected with an STI. So here is sexual transmitted infections. This can be HIV/AIDS. Why don't you want to get infected with the STIs? What do STI do when you get infected with STI? What are the other things that are going to cause you? Okay, so when you have STIs, that means you're going to be sick. When you're sick, you're going not to be productive. So you wouldn't want to get an STI because you're going to get sick. So why don't you want to get an STI? You want to be healthy. So 1, to remain healthy. Okay, you want to remain healthy, able to do things. Then you can also say you don't want to have STI so that you can be productive. Okay, you can be productive. Now here, when I talk about being productive, is able to produce. Okay, not to reproduce, but to produce, to do work and other things. So those are the reasons why. 2 reasons for avoiding getting infected with an STI. 2 reasons why: to remain healthy, to be productive, as well as if you are infected with STIs, there are some STIs that can also lead to infertility. So you need also to maintain fertility. So that you remain fertile, you are able to reproduce. So you reproduce. So you who is careless, sleeping around, these are the things that can happen if you are just sleeping around aimlessly and without using protection. You end up being infertile, being unhealthy, and being unproductive. Okay, you'll be not able to produce or to do work. you'll be sick. Okay, so these are just some of the reasons why you wouldn't want to get infected. Okay, and there is a major one that can even happen is you end up dying. Okay, you end up dying, so you would also want to live longer so you don't get infected, okay, with STI. So we can also say to live longer. Okay, all right. Okay, we can go to the next question, which is question 7. Oh, sorry, have we done? No, we are remaining with D, which is what general term is given to the drug that sustains the life of an HIV positive person. Okay, the general name term given to that, it's called D. So we can say D, it's called ARVs. Okay, ARVs, which are abbreviation for antiretroviral drugs. Okay, these are not medicine to cure AIDS. These are drugs that helps you to live longer while living with HIV virus. Okay, which can help you to live longer while living with the HIV virus. Okay, unless if you have got questions. If you have no questions, we can go to the next question, which is question 7. So remember, Easy Learning Z is running a campaign of malpractice-free exams by revising extensively, so you can revise with us. There is no need for you to use leakages or to go around searching for leakages. Remember, the punishment that comes with malpractices are stiff, so avoid using leakages or even anything that infringes the instructions or the rules or laws that guides examination, the conduct of examination. So avoid that. Okay, please don't just say my father bought it for me, it's the one who committed an offense. In fact, both your parents and you using it, you have also committed an offense. I wonder some parents why they would love to cheat the world and then destroy their own children. Okay, this is my point. Wherever you're staying, whatever job you're having, whichever colleagues you're working with, those are not permanent, but your child is permanent. He's the one who's going to take you to the grave, or you're the one who's going to take her or him to the grave. That one is permanent. He's your relative. Why should you show off to the people and destroy the one who is closer to you? That is low-term thinking. That is your child. It's better you have a child who has no degree but is true to himself. He has discovered his potential, rather than a child who lives a lie. That is bad. Please, let's go to question number 7. Let's kick out use of leakage by extensive revision. That's what we are aiming at as Easy Learning zed-Mathematics. So let's go to question number 7, which is from the environment, and the question is study the carbon cycle that follows. So you can see atmospheric carbon dioxide there, and then you can see what letters can we see there? We can see is it H, G, and I. Then we can see animal there. We can see animal here. We can see fossil fuels. We can see G here. We can see plants. We can see I here, and then also we can see this. Okay. All right. Sorry for that. Okay. Then the question is, which process are represented by letter H and G? So what is happening here, and what is the process happening here? So the plant comes here and becomes a fossil fuel. That means it has decayed or composed. Okay. And then H here is the fossil. Now there we can see atmospheric carbon dioxide. And the animal there, they are sending carbon dioxide here. So what happens here it can be burning of this fossil fuel, and here is respiration, and here is the combustion. So this is combustion or burning of the fossil fuels. Okay, so what will be the answer for number 1? We are saying H, what is H? We can see H is DA, that is A, we can say it combustion, or A, that is combustion, or burning. Okay, burning of fossil these, it can be coal. Mainly it can be coal that is being used in an industry. So when it's burnt, then it's going to produce carbon monoxide, which can become carbon dioxide, or it can produce carbon dioxide. Okay, then G, the plant has died, so that is G is decomposing, okay, or decaying. Okay, so that is what has happened to the plant, has died and it has composed to coal. Okay, B, what is the importance of process I? So you can see I there. What is the importance of this I? So the process is now this carbon dioxide is being used by plants, which reduces the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which in a later stage helps to produce the plant to the process called photosynthesis will take place, and then there will be oxygen that will be produced, which will help support the life of animals. Okay, like us human beings, we inhale oxygen. So what is the importance of this process of taking carbon dioxide into the plant to reduce? So okay, what is B? What is the importance of I? It will reduce, okay, to reduce carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And the other one, it's you help plants to manufacture food of their own. So that process will help plants to produce, I hope you're able to see, plants to produce food of their own. Okay, then it also helps plants to produce oxygen is produced which is inhaled by animals. So the life of animals will be supported. So that process is very important because it's going to make plants produce oxygen, which we human beings and other animals will inhale during respiration, which will help us to make energy. Okay, so it will help us to make energy. Okay, all right, now we go to question 7C. So we have done 7B, we go to 7C. Write a word equation to show that respiration produce carbon dioxide. Okay, right, so we are going to write that. So we have glucose, which is energy, carbohydrate plus oxygen, which is produced by plants, and then as we inhale it, then it helps us to form energy. So what will be produced here is once this reaction takes place, we are going to form carbon dioxide. That is the one we inhale, carbon dioxide, then carbon dioxide plus water plus energy is given out. That is the one that helps us to do work. So energy is also given out here. So this is the equation for respiration, which is glucose plus oxygen. Then under heat, it's going to produce carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Okay. All right. Now we go to the final question. Apart from the carbon dioxide cycle, name two other cycle in all other cycle in the biosphere which helps in balancing gases. Okay, so we have got carbon cycle. So D, we have got which one? Other two cycles that helps in balancing gases. So we have got also nitrogen cycle. We have got nitrogen cycle. We have got nitrogen cycle. We have got also sulfur cycle. We have got sulfur cycle. We have nitrogen cycle, carbon dioxide cycle. We can also talk about oxygen cycle. Okay, so those are the two cycles that you can write. So nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, sulfur cycle. There are a lot of cycles that are in biosphere. Okay, we come to question. Go to question number 8. Okay, so question 8 was as follows. That is coming from plants and animals, and the question is: study the following diagram showing an experiment set up to investigate the products of photosynthesis in a plant. Okay, so we need to take care, or we need to study this. We need to check the differences, as you can see, more especially with this cylinder and what is there, and this the content which is there. So we can see that water with sodium carbonate is put in here, and then we have got gas debris here, but here we don't have any gas. Instead we have a darky bowl. Okay, it's put in a dark room here, and then here, and you can see we are talking about photosynthesis. So we need to know the factors of photosynthesis. It's put in the dark box, and then that. Okay, so now let's go to the questions. Okay, so question 1, identify gas debris. So this gas debris. So this gas debris, what gas is produced by a plant? I was just from saying it, so I'm going to say question 8A. The gas that is produced by a plant is called oxygen. Okay, so a plant will produce oxygen after photosynthesis has taken place, so it's going to produce oxygen. Okay, let's go to the next question, which is question 2. Describe the test for gas debris. So we know that oxygen supports burning. So if you light a candle and in the jar you put there is no oxygen, there is no way the candle will continue burning, it will go off. So oxygen supports burning. So what you can do is you can say that oxygen supports burning. Oxygen supports burning. So since it supports burning, therefore we can say, how can we test that the gas we collected there is oxygen? So to test for oxygen, we are going to get so what we do is we get the glowing treat and put it in the jar full of oxygen. We put it in the jar full of oxygen. Once we have done that, then what are we going to notice? We are going to notice that the burning spirit will not go off, but and put it in the jar full of oxygen, and you will notice that the frame or the growing spirit will continue burning. We continue doing what? Burning. So once you put it in a jar or in a test where there is oxygen, the flame will continue burning. It won't stop. That means that is the test for oxygen. Okay, there is a test for oxygen, it will continue burning. Okay, let's go to question B, which is explain why no gas was collected in experiment 2. So this is experiment 2. Why was no gas collected there? So the reason why there was no gas that was collected in here is because there was no photosynthesis that took place. Why? First of all, this is in the dark box. That means there is no light that is going in. That means, and we know that light is one of the factors of photosynthesis. For photosynthesis to take place, there should be light. And then here you can see that it's in the dark and there's no light that's going on. Besides that, here in water there is no carbon dioxide. Okay, so that means there are two factors that are missing. There is no carbon dioxide, and then there is also no light. That means it will be very difficult for this plant to produce oxygen. So the question is, explain why no gas was collected in experiment 2? Because photosynthesis did not take place, because, or we can say since there was no sunlight, since it was put in the dark. For carbon dioxide, I'm not sure, because maybe even you get water, you may find that maybe there is carbon dioxide, but there was no sunlight and there was no source of carbon dioxide. Why am I sure that there was no source of carbon dioxide? Because here they have put this substance that can help to produce carbon dioxide, and here there is none. That means there is no source of carbon dioxide. Okay, let's come to question C, which is what is the law of experiment 2? So experiment 2 is a control experiment, so it's a control experiment. So C we are saying is a control experiment. Okay, What was the purpose of sodium hydrogen carbonate to produce carbon dioxide? D, people are listening what I'm doing, to produce carbon dioxide. That's the purpose of sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, question E, which is name the process that is the products of photosynthesis in plants. Okay, so what is in the name of the process that uses the product of photosynthesis? So the product of photosynthesis, that is glucose and oxygen. So glucose and oxygen are used by respiration. So the process is called the respiration. And this respiration is the process that is used by animals to produce energy, and plants at night when there is no sunlight to produce energy. That's why it's not advisable to sleep with a plant in a room, because at night the plant also starts using oxygen. So if you have got a plant in a room, that means you and the plant will be consuming oxygen, which can be very toxic for a human being or an animal. When oxygen is not enough, you end up waking up with a headache. Okay, so those are the answers that examiners expected from you. Remember, we are running a campaign which is called Malpractice Free by Revising Extensively. So you viewers to revise with us, please watch our videos. We have different videos where we're going through papers. So please don't waste your time looking for leakages or trying to sneak with a paper in an exam room. Just revise with us extensively and you'll be ready for the exams. We assure you the subjects we are going to revise with you, 40% is nothing. You are not going to fail in any of those subjects we're going to revise with you. Okay, with that being said, let's go to the next question, which is question number 9. Question 9 was as follows. Okay, so question 9 was as follows. It was coming from the topic of materials and energy, and the question was, question 1, define the following terms. 1, endothermic reaction. What is endothermic reaction? Okay, let me start by defining what endothermic reaction is. So let me say 9A1, we are saying endothermic reaction is a reaction where heat is absorbed. So endothermic reaction, this is where this is a reaction which gets heat from the environment into the reaction. Okay, so this is a reaction where heat is taken from the environment into the reaction which is happening. So if let me say, if mixing water and sugar is endothermic reaction, that means it will absorb the heat into the zig, okay, into the cold water with the sugar. It will absorb the water going to that. Okay, that is what endothermic reaction. Okay, now let's go to the next question, which is we define what is exothermic. Okay, so number 2, we are asked to define what is exothermic. Okay, exothermic reaction is a reaction where heat is given out. Okay, here from the reaction will be coming heat, which will be going to the environment, that is exothermic. So any reaction that gives out heat is called the exothermic reaction. Okay, we go to question B, which is give one example for each of the following reaction in above. Okay, so let's start with the endothermic. Okay, B, we are going to start with the endothermic. Endothermic reaction. So let's start with the endothermic reaction. Examples of endothermic reactions. So here we can see examples of endothermic reactions. The reaction of water and carbon dioxide. The reaction of water, the reaction of carbon dioxide and water. The reaction of carbon and water. Okay, the reaction of carbon and water. The reaction of carbon plus water, which is going to give you carbon monoxide plus hydrogen gas. So it's going to give you carbon monoxide plus carbon monoxide plus hydrogen, and there will be heat that will be given out. Okay, that will be absorbed. That will be absorbed in endothermic. Let's talk about exothermic. Exothermic reaction. Which reaction is going to be exothermic reaction? So exothermic reaction is the example of exothermic reaction is the combination of hydrogen and oxygen to form water. Okay, we're going to say oxygen plus hydrogen, oxygen plus hydrogen, which will give you water and give out heat. Here, and under endothermic, heat is absorbed. Here, heat is given out. Okay. Alright, let's go to question number C. Question number C is complete the following word equation. So we have got copper plus, then we say plus oxygen, which will give you copper oxide. Okay, copper plus oxygen will give you copper oxide. Then we have got that and that. That means we're going to have dash, that is going to be water, which will be, if this water is broken down, it's going to give you hydrogen plus oxygen. Because oxygen and hydrogen, these are the reactants of water. These are the two substances that comes together to form water. So water is formed by hydrogen and oxygen, which forms water. Okay. Alright, so those are the two equations that we need to complete in C. If there are no questions, we can go to question number 10. Okay, let's check question number. Okay, question number 10A is, okay, first of all, we need to study this diagram. Once we have done that, then we can come to question number 10A, which is mention the process taking place as white light passing through the prism. So when the white light is coming and passes through the prism, that is, it's going to put this the light is going to be in a spectrum of colors, so that is dissipation of light. So I'm going to demarcate here and then write 10A. So 10A, the correct answer is dissipation of white right. Okay, white right. Okay, so the dissipation of white right is what is happening there. Question B, where in the nature can we see the process you have mentioned in A? So in the nature where we see that happening, where the dissipation of white light happens, is in a rainbow. That is B. We are going to say in a rainbow. When we have a rainbow, we will see dissipation of white light, dissipation of light. Okay. C, what is the name of the band of colors reaching the red filter? So this there are different colors here. What is called? It's called spectrum. The spectrum of colors. So that is C. We're going to say spectrum. Okay, spectrum of colors. Okay, or spectrum of right. Spectrum of right. Okay, others they use red colors. So okay, spectrum of right. Okay. D, name the colors that are likely to be seen after passing through the filter. Now since this is the red filter, the colors that will be likely to be seen after passing, right, it should be a red color. It's going to be a red color. The red color will be likely to be seen. Okay, red color, and it is saying color or colors. So red color will be seen, and it can be also other colors. Okay, then we have got question number E. What would be observed on the blue object? So blue object, so it's saying E1, blue object will look to be black. Let the object will look to be black. So blue object will look to be black. So when the light passes through this filter, this blue object will look as if it's black. Okay, then what happens to, I'm going to write it here, to a white? So the answer, the question is white object. How will the white object look? So we are going to say to E2, white object will look to be red. So the white object will look to be red. So the white object is going to look as if it's red. Okay, so basically these were the answers examiners were expecting from you. Remember my answers, these are some of the suggested answers. So you may find that the answers that are in the marking key is different from the ones I've given, because for me, I'm not using the marking key, I'm using the knowledge which I have on these topics. Okay, so the way I've expressed the answers can be different from the way they are expressed in the marking key, but otherwise these are the answers examiners are likely to mark. If you wrote like this, the marks will be higher. The answers, all of them are correct. That means the language is just the one which is different. Okay, however the answers are correct. Okay, so basically these are the answers. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining our campaign, which is practicing or exercising malpractice free exams. That's what we are targeting, people to write exams without leakages or malpractices. Thank you so much for watching. It has been easy learning Z Mathematics. The future is bright. See you in the next video, and God bless you.